Hello and welcome. Thank you all so much for being here today. It's so good to see you. Welcome back. Grab a seat, grab a snack, get comfortable. Let's have some fun today. So a bit of bookkeeping. For those of you here looking for the Persona a Day series, fear not. I have not forgotten, but we're not quite ready to continue yet. If you remember when we last left our character, he was rather exhausted, needed a bit of time to recover, and he is still in the process of recovering. But we are close. Keep a close eye. It won't be too much longer now before the series continues. And if you want to get yourself caught up, I have all of our playthroughs thus far uploaded up on YouTube. So if you need a refresher, they're all there for you. That said, I wanted to do a short stream, kind of like the other day. We did some NES golf. I want to go through another one of my classic favorites from the era, a nice little one-off here that lets me share something I enjoyed with all of you and lets me get some practice in so I can be a little bit more of a competent streamer. So, once again, welcome. Today, what we're going to be doing is playing a game of Monopoly. A classic board game, released on probably every platform ever in existence. The version we're playing specifically is for the original Nintendo Entertainment System. I have some very fond memories of the game in the past, and I figure what better game to play than to play that version of it. So, hopefully I can share with you what I enjoyed about it, and you'll find some fun in it too. So with that, let's get into Monopoly for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Let me turn that down just a little bit for you. I don't want to blow your ears out. How's that? That sound a little bit better? Okay. Got a nice beat going already here. Let's just jump right into things. I'm thinking today, let's look at playing a nice, 4-player game. That's enough players to keep the game moving. But it won't be so many players that we're going to be here all afternoon, all day. As always, I'm Tom Shima. I'll be player 1 here. Ooh, the icons, our game piece. Ooh. A lot of classic choices there. I'm going to be that guy that, can't say no to the race car here. And so the rest of our opponents are going to be computer opponents. Okay. Now you'll see we've got some choices here. And one thing I always liked about old NES games was their instruction booklets. They've got all sorts of little bits of details and information in there that the game, either can't or doesn't have the space to provide, or just trusts the player to be able to read and, supplement the information that way. So they've got some background on all these computer characters. And I've got that pulled up, so I'm going to give you a bit of backstory on these people. So first off, we have Arthur here. And the instructions here say Arthur is a self-made, rags-to-riches millionaire. Growing up in a North Carolina orphanage, he learned the value of $1 early and never forgot it. He made his first fortune on the New York docks and has never lost his hard bargaining ways. To Gertrude. The widow of a wealthy New England banker, Gertrude lives frugally and protects her investments wisely. Although she has a generous nature, she has a sharp mind and knows when someone is taking advantage of her. And for Erwin. This hustler from the wrong side of the tracks runs a halfway house for ex-cons. He says it's a charitable venture, but it's really quite profitable. Erwin disdains living cheaply, and sometimes he's a little too loose with small change. Maud. Maud's father is Daddy Graham V. Park, one of the richest tycoons in the land. She's always lived in the lap of luxury and can't imagine any other way of life. Her sly good looks and amiable charm have always kept her in diamonds, and she wastes money shamelessly. So those are our top 4 players. As you can see from the game, we've also got a few more here. So back to our instructions for their background. We've got Carmen. From her start waitressing tables in South America, Carmen earned enough to buy a rail ticket to the U.S. She had a few hard knocks in the Midwest before learning how to hold her own in negotiations. She's a quick learner who never makes the same mistake twice, and a good worker. She's got a future ahead of her. Isaac. Isaac's still young, so he has to learn to temper his ambitions. He likes to read and play chess, and dislikes clanking machinery. He's most at home sipping lemonade on the porch with his parents. Penelope. A sweet girl with a trusting heart. Penelope's biggest thrill was being elected high school prom queen in Atlantic City. She dislikes rough men, and especially dislikes having to travel by Irwin's halfway house. And lastly, Ollie. Ollie's a good-natured man who just can't seem to hold on to his money. There's always someone who needs it more than he does, and he just can't say no. Also, he occasionally likes to splurge for a big night out on the town, and his taste runs to the glitzy part of the city. His friends tell him he should settle down, but he says he'll always be a drifter. So, we've got quite the diverse cast of potential opponents here. I don't think we can go wrong with any of them. Let's pick one of the top 4. Now, how about Maud? We'll pick 2 more from this screen here. How about Isaac and Penelope? And we're just going to play a nice standard game here. You know, no extra rules, just basic Monopoly. And it looks like Maud gets to go first. All right, let's see what we can do for our first roll. All right.
Don't be coming back now.
Yeah, a rough start for Maud. And lucky for me. It's a little more than it's worth, but I mean, that's how Monopoly works. You got to get the properties early.
Sold!
Especially St. Charles, because we've got, I think it's a chance card that, you know, we'll send players that way, so there's one out there guaranteed chance of hitting it. This first lap of the board is just, you know, buy everything you can. Oh, yeah. Isaac has just been following in my rolls, hasn't he? I'm not going to complain, but I'll feel a little bad for him. And 2 of the oranges are already taken. Free parking. Doesn't do anything in this version.
Don't be coming back now.
Maud's got a bit of a jail habit going on. That's 2 of the yellows gone now, too. Looks like the computer's trying to make a deal. All right, they're both 1 away from Monopoly now. That's less than ideal for me, but it is what it is. Here's a question for everybody. Did you guys just play standard normal rules back in the day when you play Monopoly, or did you play anything kind of interesting? Seeing as I'm sitting here on free parking right now, we always kind of played that, anytime you land on income tax or luxury tax, those fees, those end up in the center of the board. And, whoever gets lucky enough to land on free parking takes that big pot of money. That was always kind of cool. I mean, totally, atypical style of play and keeps the game going a lot longer than it needs to go on. But, it made free parking kind of a jackpot space sometimes. But nothing like that in today's playthrough. Oh, jail, great. And I'm not going to wait to roll to get out.
We coming back now.
We're too early in the game to be spending time off the board. Ooh, the last orange place. That gives me some bargaining power. And Maud knows it. It's a bold ask to see what I would want for Tennessee Avenue. But I don't really want to part with Tennessee Avenue. Most people kind of know the value of the orange properties is higher than most anything else out there. What do I have? I have St. Charles Electric Company and Oriental Avenue here. I wonder if we could convince a bit of a swing in the other direction, and if we can get those other oranges out of Maud here. The Electric Company's an easy one to throw out there. I wonder if we can supplement it with cash. There's a lot of value to the orange properties, so we're probably asking a lot. So we're going to need to negotiate accordingly here. Let's... $425. How about that? Let's see what she says to that. $425, the Electric Company, for what's probably more of a deal in my favor, but this is an old game. We'll see how their logic works. What do you think of this, Maud? Instantly rejected. If I were in her shoes, that'd be about my response, too. A lot of people ended up on the rails. I wonder if I could negotiate just one of the orange properties. And whose properties were those again? Those were Maud's. Let's see, this won't give me a monopoly, so maybe she'll look at that a little more favorably. We won't throw as much cash into the pot here, but the Electric Company, handful of cash, no monopoly for me. What do you think? $224? And the Electric Company? Yeah, I can do that. It's been a long lap around the board for some of us, hasn't it? Ah, nice, visiting the jail. Isaac and Maud are looking to make a deal now. Yeah, I'd trade just cash for a property. That's an easy call. I wish I had that option. Looks like Maud's happy hanging out in jail for a while. Still collecting some rent. Oh, we're seeing houses already. This might not be as long a game as it could be. That's Penelope's second railroad. Well, I got to feed the government some money, but I rolled doubles, so I guess we get to go again. All right. See if we can finish off that orange monopoly. It's going to need to be a substantial amount of cash in this situation. Let's see what happens. Interesting. No counteroffer there, just a no at this point. Surely 475 makes this more appealing, right? Okay.
Sold!
All right, well, we paid a little bit of a premium for it, but we need the properties. And despite that monopoly, Isaac's hitting a lot of payouts instead of income. My acquired trade is already making me some money.
Don't be coming back now.
Those sneaky railroads, they'll add up quick when you get a couple of them. I'm thinking we might see a few more houses here before too much longer. Ah, the last property of that group. The third railroad for her. See if we can get past this red section here. Couldn't have gotten luckier than that, I don't think. And since I rolled doubles, it's still my turn. I've got $600 now. Isaac recently acquired States Avenue. Let's see if we can make some sort of deal here. Maybe he'll just take cash. He might want to buy a few more houses, right? Let's not go too crazy. We'll just start at 200 and see what he thinks. It's probably a bit of an insult, but room to negotiate this way. Oh, all right. So that puts me one away on, each of the groups on that side of the board. I would really love to have either of those, and Maud controls my destiny in that regard. Let's see, houses cost what here? $100? Okay, it's going to be the same housing cost either way. Let's just angle for this orange. I really do want it, but I think the computer prioritizes those oranges just like a normal player does, so maybe it's better to kind of shoot for the other group here. See if Virginia Avenue might be more of an appealing deal. Especially if we send a blue off. That gives her, one away from a monopoly there. This green's not doing me much good either. That could have some value. Let's just see. 1 for 1. It gives me a monopoly, so it's probably not likely to work, but see if there's a counteroffer. There is not. Okay. I suppose she doesn't really need, money at this point, but I don't have a lot of properties I could easily part with either. I'm hesitant to give up Oriental Avenue since it's paid off twice, but no, I think it's a sign. We got to back out for now and think about this. Glad I held on to some of that money, too. That's going to swing some favor Isaac's way. Connecticut Avenue is still unowned. That's both the utilities for Maud. I don't think I want to throw my hat into that ring.
Sold!
We're going to need to hold on to this cash to hopefully make it past that block of red up there. Wait, how many times has Maud been in jail so far this game? Okay. Think either really small numbers or really big numbers. Don't think the common numbers that are more likely to come up when you're rolling 2 dice. Well, less than ideal, but this was a costly turn. Got a nice stranglehold on the top of the board here. Yeah, if I were in jail, I'd stay there too. Okay. $50 from each player. Yeah, Isaac's looking to get him another Monopoly here. He's got the resources to do it. But those negotiations fell through pretty quick. And we're going to see it from the other direction now. Penelope wants the Monopoly. And Isaac says no. A lot of negotiating before my turn was able to start. I, for one, am happy that there's no Monopoly founded. Ooh. I mean, I've got to auction it. I don't want to mortgage any properties for this. Wow. Quite the bidding war between Maud and Penelope here.
Sold!
And I think this gives Penelope that Monopoly. No, is it? Yes, that's a Monopoly. Now we've got to be afraid of either Chance or Community Chest and that Take a Walk on the Boardwalk card.
Don't be coming back now.
Maud made it out with doubles and a perfect 10 there to get the best place you can be before these red properties. Somebody needs to get something to combat Isaac and his stranglehold on the top there. We'll throw away North Carolina again and just see if maybe the game has changed enough now that she's willing to make a deal. 215. How about 215? How badly do I want it? Two properties for a Monopoly. How about that? Work with me, Maud. What do you want for it? All right, what about two Monopolies? And I'll throw in a very gracious $101. How about that? Fine. We'll play Isaac's game instead then. Bet you wish you made that deal now, huh, Maud? That'd be your property. Ooh, that's the last railroad. I'm sure we'll see a trade offer for that before too much longer. Baltic has been mortgaged. Ouch. Well, that really hurt Penelope's earning power. She's got Boardwalk and 3 railroads unmortgaged. And Isaac's got all the money in the world. Okay. Not where you want to be right now. I love that roll. That was an amazing. Yes, very good. That's the best we could hope for against Isaac. You know, his income from Go just went to income tax instead. Boy, the utilities are paying out nicely today. All right, we're not out of the woods yet. We need at least a 5. And it's mortgaged, so no rent due. And I made it past the scary row of houses. Got a cool $14 out of Maud. All right, that's 2 doubles in a row. And she made it past without going to jail and without hitting Isaac's houses. This gridlock's not going to break until... Oof. Well, if I'm going to hit any railroad, that's the one I would rather hit. It's the 25 versus the $100 railroad. Penelope and Maud are looking to make a deal. Is it that railroad? Wow. Interesting. That screen we just flashed by, since it was a mortgaged property they received in a trade, they either had to unmortgage it or pay off the interest on that, so we didn't get a good look at it, but if I remember right, those were the rules. I just cannot hit that next blue property. Well, we're not hitting Connecticut Avenue this lap. And I'm not looking to make any deals since I can see what's ahead of me on the board here. Staying in jail for Isaac. Visiting jail for Penelope. Okay. I will park my car in the top corner and... Ooh. Well, she passed go, but she had to pay double for the railroad, so... Seeing these mortgage properties coming back online.
Coming back now.
Wish I could have made a deal for that other orange property of those multiple attempts. Well, they split the utilities up, so those aren't costing quite as much anymore. And Ventnor's being the holdout up here in the yellows. Again, I still think a deal needs to be made. Is it crazy to consider giving Maud a monopoly in exchange for a monopoly? I really want St. James Place. And I will... Oh, I'd have to give both of those. That's right. No, we've tried this before and they didn't... No. They're not desperate enough yet. Oh no, the last yellow's gone. If Penelope can make a deal for that, that's not good for me. We need to do something here. We need to do something. Can I just buy Virginia Avenue? For $289. I have $800. The electric company. Price is $150. It wouldn't give me a monopoly, but it could be a good negotiating piece on the other side. So can I buy that for $200? I can. Maybe now Maud's more willing to make a deal. I'll take St. James, but I will gladly give you my shiny new electric company, giving us both the equivalent of a monopoly. And I'll even sweeten the deal with $115. Playing hardball, huh? North Carolina saved me a couple times, but it's so expensive to develop. I'm keeping my cash, though. How about that? You're relentless. try Virginia Avenue instead. Still a monopoly, but I think it's weighted a bit differently in their logic, so... Electric company and a sizable chunk of cash here. Maud does not want to part with anything. Last chance. We'll throw that green back on. And $75. For Virginia Avenue. You get cash and 2 properties. Nope. Okay. I'm done. The world is going to burn. I got some scary deals going through here. Okay, the top of the board is a very scary place now. I think I played too conservatively. I really should have... Here's the idea. If I can make it past the top of the board this lap without ending up bankrupt, it might be time to give a monopoly to get a monopoly. Ouch. Well, that's going to diminish the value of Maud's properties, potentially. It's going to make Isaac all but unstoppable. But we might get to see some hotels get constructed. That doesn't happen every day. So she has no unmortgaged properties and $52 to her name. It's a full contingent of houses on the dark purple properties there. Oh, they're going to be hotels. Nice hotel construction cutscene coming up. Wasn't that something? Part of me feels like I need to roll this turn and keep my cash, but the other half of me is like, once it's Maud's turn again, she's not long for this game, and whoever takes her out gets all of her properties, which isn't likely to be me. So if I could get one of those beforehand, that would give me a shaky leg to stand on versus the I don't know what we're going to do kind of plan we've got going on right now. She's been very unreceptive to trades thus far, but she needs cash. Maybe she's desperate. It's mortgaged as well, so I'm paying a premium on that, so how about that? And the electric company. All right. I don't know what we're going to do. It's up to the dice now.
Sold!
All right. Isaac's portfolio grows. The rich get richer. All right. Is this it? Do we have more in us? Let's find out. Ow. Okay. 925. I can make that happen, but I don't like how it's going to have to happen. No one has power anymore. Was that all, or did I need 950? It's not looking good, guys. I talked bad about Isaac at the start of the game, and he's making us all pay for it. One of the few things that can actually, touch Isaac's money. Oh, good. More houses up here, too. All those hundreds and that 50 getting gobbled up. All right, we've got $20. We've got a bunch of mortgaged properties. We don't have a lot of prospects, but we're here. We're having fun. We're going to jail. I won't be able to pay my bail unless I mortgage something or get some income between now and then. Oof. You kind of got to feel bad for Maud there. She really didn't need that. She passed go and gave it all back to the government. 14, that helps. I need that 50 unless I can get doubles, which is kind of trading one bad for another. All right, we're definitely not looking to pay to get out early. Ooh. Well, that looks like that effectively destroyed Penelope. I don't have a lot of room to say anything on that, though, because my time, if I weren't in jail for up to 2 more turns, I'd be looking at the same, the same fate. So young Isaac and his lemonade there, he seems to have it all figured out. Let's see if we can stay in jail.
Don't be coming back now.
Let's see if Chance is nice to us. All right. And a sweet $10 there. Ah. $200. Not a lot of prospects looking at that asset table, though. Oh, that would leave her with $1 if I'm reading her assets correctly here. Wow. Connecticut Avenue is the untouchable square this round, it seems. Oh, good, doubles. Oh, good. The railroad is mortgaged. That really does help. $2,000 on Isaac here. But I got 6 of them. I'm going to turn it around with these $6. What could I possibly have that he wants? No, he's got the other 2 greens. I'm just... we're going to quit. No deal. You're going to probably get me, but I don't make it that easy for you. That's it for her, I think. Goodbye. And all these safe properties are very much not safe anymore. But Isaac's just going to twist the knife a little bit here on all of us. All right, is this my time? I think it might be. $1,050. I do not have assets for that. So just to be that petty player, I'm going to mortgage all my properties so he can pay interest when he receives them. All right, $690 is all I've got to my name. I can't afford that, so that would be it for my run at the table here. We're going to be declaring a reluctant bankruptcy. Are you sure? Do I have a choice? But we've come this far. I don't want to be that player to storm away from the table, so we're going to watch Isaac finish his victory lap here, and we'll congratulate him on outplaying us this round. Got his Christmas fund, or Maud got her Christmas fund. Income tax has done really well this game. Kind of interesting seeing deals being made at this point in the game. These are all over the place. Yeah, I wasn't sure where they were going with that deal either. That was quite a colorful portfolio of Isaac's versus a lot of entirely mortgaged properties here. I don't know, guys. It's not looking that good for mod, is it? Yeah, yellow needs more houses. Good call, Isaac. Well, he's got all the railroads. And that's the end of mod, which means that by a wide margin, $9,382, Isaac is our winner. He looks nice and happy there. I'm happy for him. He played a good game. Just gotta kind of savor this old, NES soundtrack as well. They did so much with such a limited sound profile. But that is the game. And just like that, we're back to the title screen. So yeah, let's head back to the basement here. So okay, that was Monopoly for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I will say, it might not have exactly gone the way I'd hoped it would, but it's a board game, it's got dice, you take the rolls you have. I'll take the responsibility I had for some of my strategic choices that I thought made sense in the time, but hindsight being 2020, maybe could have played it a little more aggressively in some spots there. But that's part of the fun too. It's like this was a good, short game, not an afternoon slog of an entire day of Monopoly or anything, but a nice nostalgic vibe. I always like this game, be it the board game, be it the NES game or other console versions. I'm a fan of Monopoly. If you're playing in the group of four, your chances of winning aren't they're 1 in 4, so I had a better chance of not winning, and I lived up to those odds. But yeah, I guess thank you so much for sharing in one of my favorite games with me today. I'm glad you were able to come. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't think this will be the last time we play this game. I kind of want my revenge. I want to I want to be the one on top one of these times, and I'm sure I can do that. But yes, once again, thank you all so much for coming today. Please stay tuned as we see what games happen next. We'll see what tomorrow brings. We're getting that much closer to getting back to Persona a day, so I hope you're excited there. But yeah, thank you again. Enjoy the rest of today, and I will see you when I see you. Thank you so much.